Chapter 17. Good Muslims Kill.
The messenger in your rear is calling you from your rear, urging you to fight.
Alas, Islam was not all murder, plunder, and lust. There was also war.
Tabari. In this year there was the expedition of the messenger to Uhud. In year 3 of the Islamic era, that would be March 625, the Quraysh were provoked against the messenger because he had killed their nobles and chiefs at Badr.
The Meccans had witnessed the Prophet's demented behavior at the pit.
Muhammad has bereaved us and killed our best men, so help us defend ourselves against him, and perhaps we will obtain vengeance for those he has slain.
They wanted to prevent the onslaught from continuing. Yet today Muslims raise shrill voices, protesting that Uhud was proof that the Meccans were the aggressors, and that Muhammad was forced into defending his flock. But their own scriptures say otherwise, putting Islam in a difficult position. If these Hadith are accurate, their prophet was a warmongering terrorist and a ruthless pirate. But if these traditions are not true, they have no prophet, and thus no religion, for nothing else is known about him or of Islam's beginning. While we're on the subject, I'd like to bring your attention to the format I've been using to present the events that comprise the Islamic era. I have woven the hadiths of Ishaq, Tabari, and Bukhari together with the Quran because I want you to appreciate the similarities between the four sources. Although there are some subtle differences, all four paint the same portrait, and it's the only picture of Muhammad and his companions that can be drawn. Nothing predates these books. Any statement about Muhammad or Islam that contradicts what you are listening to is opinion, either wishful thinking or purposeful deception. That said, occasionally some positive words are sprinkled in amidst the horror, although they are few and far apart. For example,
Tabari. Abd Allah al-Jumahi had been treated kindly by the messenger on the day of Badr, being a poor man with daughters. He was among the captives and said, "Muhammad, I am a poor family man with needs of which you are aware, so treat me well." The Prophet treated him kindly.
I suppose that it bears mentioning that he was a pagan named slave to Allah. Being poor, he was of no value to the Prophet, and the only reason he was a prisoner in Medina was because he was kidnapped during a Muslim raid. The following chat allegedly took place between a militant and his victim.
Tabari. Abu Azzah, you are a poet, so aid us with your tongue. Join our expedition, and I swear before Allah I will make you a rich man.
The first Muslims were mercenaries. According to the Sirah,
Ishaq. The opinion of Abd Allah bin Ubay was the same as the Prophet. He should go out to meet the Meccans camped near Uhud. Yet some,
soon to be dead,
Muslims whom Allah ennobled with martyrdom on the day of Uhud, and others who missed Badr, jumped at the chance to fight. Yet Abd Allah said, "We have never gone out of Medina to meet an enemy, but that they have inflicted severe losses on us, and no enemy has ever entered Medina, but that we inflicted severe losses on them. Leave them alone."
Abd Allah laid out the perils of invading a city.
If they enter Medina, the men will fight with them face to face, and the women and boys will hurl stones at them from above. They will retreat, wishing they had not come.
But unfortunately, Muhammad had oversold his ability to command angelic help, as well as the value of martyrdom. The newly minted Muslims roared,
"O Messenger of Allah, do not deprive us of paradise!" Bukhari. My uncle Anas said, "Allah's apostle, we were absent from the first battle you fought against the pagans. If Allah gives us a chance to do battle, no doubt he will see how bravely we fight."
Unable to give Muslims a reason to live, Muhammad gave them a reason to die.
Bukhari. The Prophet said, "Nobody who enters paradise likes to go back to the world, even if he got everything on earth, except a Mujahid,
an Islamic fighter,
who wishes to return so that he may be martyred 10 times because of the dignity he receives. Our Prophet told us about the message of Allah, whoever among us is killed will go to paradise. Umar asked the Prophet, is it not true that our men who are killed will go to paradise, and those of the pagans will go to hell? The Prophet said, yes. Bukhari. Allah's apostle said, know that paradise is under the shade of swords.
This prophet, like the Fuhrer, seduced millions to kill for him. His Hadith prioritizes jihad over everything else. In fundamental Islam, fighting is the ultimate good deed.
Bukhari. Allah's apostle dictated the divine verse, not equal are those believers who sit at home and those who strive hard, fighting in the cause of Allah with their wealth and lives.
This divine verse is Koran 4:95.
Zayd said, Maktum came to the Prophet while he was reciting that verse. O Allah's apostle, if I had power, I would take part in jihad. He was a blind man. So Allah sent down a revelation to his apostle while his thigh was on mine.
That's not a pleasant picture.
It became so heavy I feared it would break my leg before Allah revealed, except those who are disabled by injury or are blind or lame.
If jihad were a spiritual struggle, as Islamic apologists claim, why would Allah have to give the physically disabled an exemption? Fact is, jihad is always linked to fighting in the Quran and in the Hadith. It means to fight holy war for Allah without retreating, sacrificing one's life and resources. Any other definition makes Allah and Muhammad liars. Since Quran 4:94 and 95 confirms the Mein Kampf nature of Islam from Allah's perspective, let's nail the coffin shut before we move on.
Quran 4:94, believers, when you go abroad to fight wars in the cause of Allah, investigate carefully and say not to anyone who offers you peace, you are not a believer, seeking and coveting the chance of profits of this life so that you may despoil them. With Allah are abundant profits, plentiful spoils, and booty.
Satan is announcing by way of his prophet, Muslims, when you leave Arabia to fight and rob those who don't worship me, don't accept peace offerings and leave a potential victim alone. Rather, conquer them, for therein lies the greatest potential for profit. And always remember, you are a mercenary, and that I have seduced you.
Quran 4:95. Not equal are those believers who sit at home and receive no injurious hurt, and those who strive hard.
Jihad.
Fighting in the cause of Allah with their wealth and lives. Allah has granted a rank higher to those who strive hard.
Jihad.
Fighting with their wealth and their bodies to those who sit at home. Unto each has Allah promised good, but He prefers those
Jihadists
who strive hard and fight above those
pacifists
who sit at home. He has distinguished His fighters with a huge reward.
The Quran confirms that
Allah's cause, jihad, striving hard,
and
fighting
are synonymous. The reference to
leaving home, injurious hurt, life,
and
bodies
confirms that there is nothing spiritual about jihad or Allah's cause. The promises of
inequality, a higher rank, preference,
and
a huge reward
for jihadists are nails in Islam's peace-loving coffin. The crescent moon is as tolerant as the swastika. The Quran is as warlike as Mein Kampf. Peace in Islam is as Hitler defined it. There will be peace when Aryans alone rule the world. The 96th verse begins by confirming Allah's preference for warriors. It ends in contradictory fashion. Some would call it camouflage.
Quran 4:96. Ranks and higher grades are specially bestowed by Him. He is forgiving and merciful.
The God who prefers fighters to lovers, warriors to pacifists, is merciful. No wonder Muslims say the Quran cannot be translated. The words don't make any sense.